What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down good versus bad reps against a physical DB, okay? So we're going to be talking about what not to do against a guy who loves to get hands off the line of scrimmage, and then we're going to be talking about how you guys could beat a dude who's really physical off the line of scrimmage and trying to get hands and knock you off this route, okay? So I hope this video gives you guys some value, but also if you're a receiver, guys, and you want to know how to read defenses, how to structure your routes, right? Check out that very first link in the description for a 40-minute video on how wide receivers can read defenses, not just coverages, but understanding what DBs are doing, how you guys can beat those DBs, and what releases to use and what moves to use at the top of the route. And when you're a third read, first read, second read, whatever it is, how to use that, right? All the stuff that we talk about, but when to use it. Check out that very first link in the description, 40-minute long video. Let's get started. So first things first here, this DB, we got to make sure against a physical guy, fellas, that we have a plan. We cannot go out there just blind without a cane. We got to make sure that we have a plan and that we are ready to make a move fast and make a move quickly. So let's watch this thing full speed. So you see how this DB just jams our guy completely off the route and he's hugging the sideline. This is almost an impossible throw for the quarterback on a comeback route, hitch route, any kind of route where you got to break down. You guys got to give yourself some space so you can accelerate out of the break, because you see when he makes this drop, he doesn't do a bad job of getting separation, but there's no place for him to widen the distance and accelerate because he's hugging the sideline, and he let this DB completely reroute him. So let's talk about why. Let's talk about why that happened. So you see when he came off the route, where are his hands? Hands are low, but also the other thing that I don't like is he doesn't really necessarily make a move. There's no move here. This is like almost a cut, but there's no really jab. There's no sudden jab. And I'm sure this receiver was told that, not trying to knock him, but I'm trying to use this as an example because you see so many other receivers doing this exact same thing. They don't have a plan, right? They come off, they're a little patient, but they don't give anything. You got to be patient, but you got to be sudden. So anytime you guys make a move to the inside, make a move to the outside, it's got to be sudden, especially when you're coming off patient. Now, you see when he comes out of there, look how high he is with his pad level. When he comes off that break, you see how his chest immediately pops up, right? That's just an easy target for this DB to get hands and to knock us off this route and knock us back, because if I'm leaning back, your weight's shifted backwards. So if this DB gets hands, he's really going to be able to knock us off of this route. And you see here, completely knocked off. He started out on the top of the numbers. Now he's almost like 2 yards from the sideline, right? So against a physical guy, you guys got to make sure that you're sudden and you keep a good pad level, right? So now again, but also like the main thing that I want to get out of this is just have a plan, right? So you see how this DB's, you see his stance, right? He's in explosive position. His hands are up. His hands are ready to go. When you come off the line and you give him this little hesitation move and you see that he just sits right there, be ready for him to jam. Now, another thing that you guys got to understand is that when you guys are studying film on a DB, you guys are studying film on a team, you guys got to know that, okay, this DB likes to be physical. So coming into the game, you got to have a plan beforehand. Okay, and I know in one-on-ones it's tough. You got to give this receiver, it's tough doing one-on-ones because you have no experience with this DB, you have no film, you have no nothing. So it's tough to do, and it's even tougher for a DB, so that's why they're trying to be physical. But you guys got to understand that before a game, when you got film on a team, or you've seen a guy, right, whatever it is, you see him playing 7-on-7, whatever it is, but you've seen the DB before, you understand that, okay, he likes to do this, he likes to jam with this hand, he likes to jam with two hands, he likes to just punk me straight off the line of scrimmage. Okay, fine. That's fine. I got to have a plan for it. So just make sure that you guys have a plan. I cannot stress that enough against a physical guy. Make sure you have a good pad level and make sure you are sudden with your feet. Okay, so now we're going to be taking a look at this release here from Jalen Waddle. So this is going to be a guy who lunges at him and he's real physical. So now the key to beating a guy who's real physical, right? The things that you have to do, what that receiver didn't do in the last clip, he didn't use any range, right? He just kind of just walked up forward, didn't really give a move and just ran right into him, right? That's the easiest way to get covered by a physical guy. So let's watch this full speed. So what do I mean by range? I mean being in a range where this DB can't get hands and he's forced to have to watch your hips, or if he's going to get hands, he has to lunge at you, which makes him lose his base. So let's watch this full speed. So you see how Waddle goes with this step back release. He bursts up, gives him that little rocker at the top, and is able to make this play over the middle. So now let's talk about that, right? So normally the step back release, personal preference, I like it if it doesn't take too long, right? So people ask me that all the time. Hey, Coach, what do you think about, a step back release? What do you think about me just stepping back, giving a little hesitation, backwards step here? It's fine. I think it can work if you don't take too long. Waddle, this is a little tricky, just because he does this little step back and then he kind of gives this little pause right here and goes, but he just gets into it, right? Now, if you give that little step back and this DB whiffs like he does, and you get to this position and then you're making all these fancy moves and then you go up into the route, out. That's not realistic. You got to step back, make him miss, and then go. Because now you're in space, and now you can work because he doesn't have hands on you, right? So make sure that you're able to step back. He's not able to get hands, and then I just go. I don't waste my time. Now, another thing that you guys can do here is when this DB, you see how he lunges, right? What if Waddle would have just kind of slid off of this leg and slid into open range right here? And did that little like Devontae Adams. You see Justin Jefferson do it a lot these days as well. That little hesitation slide, and then you just take off to the outside where he gives this little slide and then goes. Because if he lunges at you and you're sliding and you're in a range where he cannot get hands, where he has to address you, where he has to lunge at you to be able to get hands, he cannot get hands from his nice base position. That's where you guys can get some separation. Because if he slid out here, you see he lunges, his hips are turned, and then now what can I do? I can just take off and work upfield. So the step back or that little slide, hesitation slide and skip, or that little hesitation slide and just go, that can help you guys against this physical DB. And now it's clear to see that he has a plan, right? He knew he was going to do this, especially based on by the DB's leverage, that when he lunges at him, it's a reaction. I react. And you see how his hands, they're up ready to go. But also you see when he goes, look at his pad level, right? His pad level is down. His chest is forward. He's in an explosive position to where this DB cannot get hands and knock him off this route. He's in this position where if this DB does get hands, that's fine. He's still going to be going forward. He's still got that pad level. He's still got that energy going forward to where this DB cannot just force him to the sideline, right? And so you see how he goes here, gives that little hesitation skip, and now this is no man's land, especially when you're a fast receiver. A DB who doesn't have hands on you, 5, 6, 7 yards downfield, we should be wide ass open every single time we touch we're on the field and the DB doesn't have hands. So make sure that when you guys make him miss, you have a plan, you get upfield, and then he's chasing you, okay? And then if he doesn't get hands and knock you off that route and doesn't disrupt the timing, then we should win this route every single time just by getting some separation, okay? So again, 3 things that you got to do, right? Then that first clip that we didn't do and this clip that we did, we had a plan, right? Have a plan for what you're going to do. Second thing, be sudden with your feet. You see how that move that he does right here? It's very sudden. He makes that decision quick. It's a reactionary decision, and then he's got great pad level. So have a plan, be sudden, good pad level. Those are the things that you guys got to be able to do to beat a physical DB and understand the concept of range to where he cannot get hands. Let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job using that step back. Let's push up vertical, give that rocker step at the top, then accelerate over the middle. Great route there by Waddle. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all on this video, leave those in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I hope you guys are liking this series that we're doing where it's the good and bad route examples. And also, fellas, again, if you want to be able to read defenses, you want to understand defenses to where you can structure what release to use, what move on the route to use, what read you are, and know the IQ so you're on the same page as your quarterback, check out that very first link in the description. 40-minute long video on just all the things receivers need to know about defenses. Hope this video gives you guys some value. I'll see you guys next time.